Welcome to another Philly Yongmudo Temple Hapkido stay-at-home workout video. Stuck indoors, unable to go into the dojo because of our quarantine problem, or our pandemic problem, which is forcing us to quarantine. Anyhow, so we are here this is workout number 38. We started recording these back in April, and we're going to keep going until we can get in the dojo and work out together. Today we're going to be working on our strikes. So hopefully what you're going to have are some boxing gloves. You're not punching anything. One thing you can substitute is just some light weights in your hands. I would go seriously light, like 1 pound. I mean, remember, these gloves are only a pound. Maybe they're less than a pound if you've got 12-ounce gloves. So 1 pound, maybe 2 to 3 pounds, but I'd probably encourage just about 1 pound so that you're good for throughout the entire workout. As usual, what we're going to try to do is go over a bunch of technique with a bunch of workout though. So we're not going to be as technically focused, in which case, we're going to try to see what's going on, but you're kind of on your own and you're kind of just, because of that, you can relax and enjoy it and not feel like you're being watched too much, and know that you're just in there to have a good time and get a good workout. Moving forward, since we're kind of moving out of this temporary position into what could be a longer term situation, at least for us to be able to get back into our university dojo, it'll probably be at least a month and a half, if not 2, 3, 6 months. Who has any ideas? So with that in mind, if you're joining us for our workouts, it might be a good idea to start getting at least some sort of mats. That's what I'm meaning here. So if you could get even just puzzle mats, they're 3x3, so they end up being like, I don't know, it's like 9 square feet or 10, 12 square feet, and it's only like $75. Get them. If you want to get nicer mats and you can fold them up and put them away easily, that's great. If all you have are a couple of rugs to lay down, that's all right. We're just talking about an ability to do some very light falls and forward rolls sort of thing, back rolls. So we're not doing air falls, nothing crazy, no one's throwing you, so light mats are all right. If you could also get one of these dummies over here, then that would be great. They are about $50 to $75 if you buy them online empty, but then you've got to buy the stuff to stuff them with, or they can be $150, $300, $600. Don't go crazy. We just want something you can use as a good dummy. So it's not only kind of some of the groundwork stuff that we've been doing with the pillow buddies, but we can do a little bit more on arm locks and chokes and other positioning drills with them and add as we go forward. That's a big thing to ask, I know, but hey, if you're not paying for your dojang fees, then go ahead and get one of those too. So mats, that, in addition to our usual sort of supplies that we'll ask you to think about getting. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email or message us and let us know. Otherwise, let's go ahead and start with our workout for today. So have a good time. We'll put the gloves off to the side for right now. And let's just have a good workout. So back up to where you've got a little bit of space, or overhead space. I'm in my basement. We're all using whatever space we can. We're going to start off with some jumping jacks, 50 on my count. And ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. Good. All right. I'm going to do a quick circuit. I've got to look at my list. Today we're going to do crunches and push-ups first. So find a spot on the floor. I'm going to start off with very easy, simple crunches. Legs are up, shins parallel to the ground, hands going behind my head. As you do the crunches, don't yank on your neck. Mostly this is just to prevent yourself from doing this herky-jerky stuff. All right, 20 crunches on my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, push-up position. Hands underneath your shoulders. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Good. On to your backs again. More crunches or sit-ups. I'm going to switch actually to leg lifts. So hands are going underneath my hips. Legs are up. If you're just doing crunches, double time me. If you're doing whatever you want, then do whatever you want. All right, ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Back on your fronts for push-ups. I'm going to go a little wider this time. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Good. Onto your backs. Third set of crunches, sit-ups. I'm going to do leg lifts, so I'm going to do them with a twist so I can get a little bit of obliques. It is up to you what you want to do. Ready, position, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 2 more, 19, 20. Good. All right, last set of push-ups. I'm going to go a little narrow this time. Up in your push-up position, shoulders over hands. Unless you want to do something funky, that's fine. I'm waiting to hear Will do his clapping push-ups. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, good. All right. Third set. Next set, what we're going to do. Sorry, I'm going to grab some light medium weights. I'm going to use 5-pounders. I might actually be not pushing it if I went with 10-pounders, but I only have 5s and then 15s, and I'm not up to 15s for today. You're not up to it? That's fine. Nobody cares. Do what you want. All right. We're going to do bridges, and we're going to do squats. So, I'm going to start with my hands holding the weights. I'm going to plant it kind of on my hips. I'm going to bridge up with the weights resting on my hip. And then I'm going to take my hands and think about pushing whoever it is that's sitting on me over one shoulder, okay? And then I'm going to bring it back, and then I'm going to switch sides. So I'm going right, left, okay? So we're going to do a set of 10, then we're going to jump up and do some squats, and then we're going to go back to our bridges, and then some more squats. So, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Up to a stand. We're going to do a squat with an overhead lift. As you do in the squat, just try to keep your back somewhat straight and think about sitting down and then come up and overhead lift. Do the lift nice and tight. This is a good bicep curl in here as it is. You don't have to lift it out there in front of you. All right, squats with an overhead lift. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Down to your backs again for bridges. And ready. 1. Alternating sides. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Up to your feet. Squat with an overhead lift. And ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Pop down your weights. And what we're going to do next are some basic kicks. We're going to do a front kick, side kick, roundhouse kick. We're going to do 5 each side, each leg. Nice and easy, but this is our warm-up. So think mostly about extension rather than speed or power. Yeah, you want good form, but let's think about our warm-up and how to get our body moving more than we're trying to think about killing anything at this point. So, left foot forward, right foot back. Easy front kick. Remember, good posture, hands up, rotate on the support leg as you extend forward, step down, and then come back. All right, ready. Right leg, rear leg front kick. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. Right leg forward, left leg front kick. Yeah. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Switch. We're going to do a rear leg side kick. You're going to chamber, extend out, retract, come down. Remember, we're thinking about extension, light stretching for a warm-up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. Right foot forward, left leg, rear leg side kick. 1, 2. Keep the hands up. 3, 4, 5. Good. Switch. Left foot forward, right leg back, right leg, roundhouse kick, midsection. You got lots of options on how to do it. Remember, just try to go through the midline. Try to keep a good posture. Hands up, rotate support leg. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Switch. Right foot forward, left leg roundhouse kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. All right, shake out those hips or circle the hips a little bit. Good. All right. Chain breakers. Oh. Good. All right. Easy. Actually, we're going to do a quick stretch. I'm feeling like 2 minutes ahead. So let's take 2 minutes now, get in a little bit of stretch, a little bit better loosed up for strikes. Okay, so next, big circles. Eyes open, pulling it to the extremes. Don't just let it flop. Switch directions. Good, looking right and left. Down and up. I'm doing a gentle squeeze at the end. If you're seeing the pause. And right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. Again, pause, squeeze at the extremes. Good, shoulders. Big circles, just the shoulders. Squeeze the back muscles, squeeze the chest muscles. Switch directions. Good. Easy back twists. Knees are bent so that as I turn, the strengthened, activated leg muscles protect my knees from twisting. Good. Down to the hips. I know we did this already, but hey, it's in the routine. It's kind of hard to forget, hard to slip up and squeeze it out. Down to the knees. Starting shallow, working way slowly deeper and deeper. We are both going to be using our knees a lot today, but also hardly using them. So we're not going to get a lot of range of motion, but we're going to be using that little segment a lot. So let's try to warm up those muscles of the knee. Good. Right foot up. Nice easy circles. Clockwise and counterclockwise. Good. Switch feet. Clockwise and counterclockwise. Good. All right, let's go ahead and grab a quick drink of water. If you need 10 seconds to stretch something, that's fine. Go ahead. Let's grab some water. And if you've got gloves, let's go ahead and get them. If you only have small weights, that's fine. Let's go ahead and grab them. Okay, so before I even put on the gloves, let me just make sure we cover a couple of basics on this. So I'm going to be starting in a basic, what I think of as a basic martial arts fighting stance. So I've got about shoulder width of width, right? You can see looking in the video that my feet are about shoulder width apart. As I turn though, I've got a slightly longer length. So this would be about a shoulder width, and I've got like an extra half shoulder width. This gives me enough side to side motion and front to back. If I'm facing an attacker, then I really have to think about moving fast forwards or back, but I also want the ability to move side to side some. Number two, we're keeping our hands up, all right? We want to make sure our hands are staying up. If we are in striking distance, and we assume most of our partners are our size or bigger, because I'm not going to get attacked by a 7th grader or a 5th grader, right? So I have to think about protecting this stuff really carefully against someone who has the same reach as I do or something slightly longer. As we do this, we're going to make good fists. So go ahead and start with your hands up. Fingers are not splayed, they are together, all right? And then we're going to curl in one joint, curl in the second joint, and now the thumb goes across the front. Of course, we are hitting with this top surface here, okay? Not the thumb side, but the top side, all right? And then as we do this, we're thinking about punching with these front two knuckles. We want to then, as we do most of our punches, line these first two knuckles up with the forearm. We don't want to hit here with the first two knuckles and break our wrist. We also don't want to hit with these smaller knuckles out here. They tend to break more easily. So we're going to think about this nice flat surface, usually made by those first two knuckles, lining that up along the forearm. So we fold in, thumbs go across, and then we're going to think about punching with the top of these first 2 knuckles in line, left and right, and up and down, okay? So not there, straight, okay? So with that in mind, let's go ahead and put on our gloves. If you already have yours on, great. We're going to start with a light warm-up, and then I'm going to give you some real try to do some technical fixing of stuff. So first, we're going to do an easy jab cross in place, all right? It should be easy to see now with these gloves. You can see that I'm looking at my thumbs, right? My thumbs are facing me. I don't know, I'm trying to see if you can see it. So my thumbs are facing me, and then as I reach out, I am driving with those first 2 knuckles so that it slowly turns over as I make contact with those first 2 knuckles right here at the edge of the glove, okay? So we're going to do a jab, which generally comes off the front foot, and then a cross, which generally comes off the back foot, okay? Now, jab versus cross is more about power versus speed, and so that's more important because we could do a rear jab, we could do a front cross where we're coming in with power. So let's not get too hung up on which one is which. All right, I mean, you know, front foot, it has to be a jab, and rear foot has to be a cross, okay? We can switch it up. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna be standing right in place. We've got our fighting stance, about a shoulder width of width, a shoulder and a half worth of length. Hands are up. What I want you to do is just begin jab crossing, okay? We're not thinking too much about technique at this point, or I'm not talking about technique. If you know what you're doing, that's great. But for instance, right now, the thing that I'm doing most wrong is I'm punching towards the camera, which is about 3 feet too low. So I've got to start punching up here at my own head level. All right, so jab cross on your own, just nice and easy. Notice you want to bring those shoulders into it a bit, bring the hips into it. Let's just go jab cross, jab cross, jab cross, jab cross. Good, and pause. If we were professional fighters, then we would just stay with our one good side. We're not going to do that. We're going to work on both sides because we don't know if we're going to get mugged from the right or the left, and we don't know which side is going to be our jab and our cross. So switch sides. I'm now going right foot forward, and I'm going to do a right jab, left cross. Start firing them off. Good, stop, shake out those arms, and let's reverse it again. So I'm going to the first side, left foot forward, right foot back for me. So I'm going with left jab, right cross. All right, let's go ahead and fire off a whole bunch more jab crosses. Ready, go. Good, stop, switch. So I'm right foot forward, left foot back, jab crosses, go. Good, and stop. All right, still in just our plain warm-up section. If you've got space around you, you can kind of start moving randomly. If you only have kind of a track, either going front, back, or side, that's okay. What I want to do is work on jab cross with a short step. Short step is one of my favorite stance movements to think about. It works very effectively in a lot of situations. Basically, the idea is whichever foot is forward, whichever foot is closest to the direction you are moving moves first. I've got left foot forward. If I'm going to advance, my left foot moves first and then my right foot moves. If I'm going back, my right foot is closest to where I want to go. Right foot moves first, left foot moves second. If I'm going left, left, right. Going right, right, left. Left, right, right, left. If I switch stance and I'm going left, I still go left, right. If I'm going right, I still go right, left. Okay? But now I switch feet, so as I go forward, the right foot is forward, so I go right, left, and then back is left, right. Works great. If I'm out here and I want to advance, short step coming back. If I want to move around, then I can do that too. Okay, so we're not going to go into huge detail on this. What I'd like you to think about doing, especially if you're an absolute beginner to the short step, that's all right. I would just go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then switch again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you got a little bit more than that, great. All right, so I haven't given you too much to do, unless you're an absolute newbie, which is okay. Let's just go ahead and work on what you think you can do from that. We're just doing our warm-up. All right, ready, and go. Good, and if you were all left foot forward, now go all right foot forward. I was all left foot forward. So, ready, same thing. Short steps with jabs and jab crosses. All right, let's go.
Will, put out the 100 folders.
Good. And let's go ahead and pause. Okay, I'm going to take off my gloves for a second, just to make sure that I can focus a little bit more on what I want you to think about. We're going to work on jabs today. So for the next 10-15 minutes, we're basically only going to do jabs. For now, we're just going to talk about jabs off the front leg, okay? Remember what I said just a couple minutes ago about jab is more about how much power you put into something as compared to speed. A jab is a nice fast punch, okay? So we can do a rear side jab, or we can do a front side jab. It's about speed as compared to our power punches. Boom, boom, right? Okay, so we're gonna work on jab. What I want you to think about here is we're gonna think about the body mechanics of the jab. Yes, the shoulders are going to go a little bit forward, okay? Yes, that means the hip is going to come forward, okay? But in order to make that happen, we want to think about what our feet are doing to help support this system, okay? As we're doing a jab, we've got to drive off of something to put power behind it. Otherwise, we're really just throwing just the weight of the hand, which we'd like to add just a little bit more to with a little bit of body support, the muscles of the body going in to support that jab. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to start in your fighting stance. As you do the jab, the front foot is going to twist a little bit, okay? That front foot is going to twist a little bit. That knee is going to drop in a little bit. That helps this hip come forward, okay? At the same time, we want to not just let that hip fall forward as this front knee kind of turns. We don't want it to be a collapse. We want it to be driven by this rear leg. So as we do the jab, I am coming up off the heel a little bit more. So number one, we're fighting. We're not flat-footed. So my heel isn't on the ground. It's just off the ground. But as I punch on this jab, I want to drive forward, which means this foot is actually going to come up a little bit more. I'm going to keep changing angles here a little bit, so hopefully you can see what this foot is doing, okay? As I punch with the left, the right hip is moving towards that left front corner. which means that there's a little bit of twist off of that rear leg. So my toes are actually turning slightly more out than they were before, and my heel is coming higher off the ground. So basically I push the right hip by driving off the ground a little bit further, okay? Boom. So we've got a nice little twist in here, driving off those feet. So the left foot, the front foot turns in, the rear foot also turns this way as I drive off the heel. Now, this is important, especially if I need to close those crucial 4 to 6 inches in order to reach my opponent. Remember, we're going to start off assuming we're about the same height, about the same reach. I don't want to kind of sit here before we start in their grasp, in their punching distance. I want to stay slightly further out so I know I'm safe. And then when I'm ready to attack, I want to throw my jab. But now notice I've taken that extra 4 to 6 inches out to make sure I'm safe, but now I'm 4 to 6 inches short. So I really need this drive off this rear leg and the shoulder coming forward in order to close that 4 to 6 inches, and then I'm going to come back, okay, for this drill. So I'm going to extend, reach to get that punch, and then come back. All right, so let me summarize. We have shoulder width of width, slightly longer than shoulder width of length. Hands are up in good fist positions, nice and high. As I begin my punch, this fist is driving straight off that shoulder. It is slowly turning over to the first 2 knuckles. And as I do that, my front toes are turning in, and my rear foot is also turning in that direction, turning to the right as my heel comes a little further off the ground, and I close that 4 to 6 inches. And now I come back. Reach out, come back. Reach out, come back. Questions? Questions from people who are live, obviously. All right, if there are no questions, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start. I want you to do a jab at slow pace. I want you to, if you don't have a mirror or if your screen is not high enough that you can look at yourself at like a good punching height, then you're going to have to kind of get away from that screen. And I want you to just kind of see out in front of you, keeping those fists high. Sorry, no crosses, just jabs. So let's go ahead and on your own, you're going to do 10 slow, easy punches where you think about that extension, think about that rotation, and then come back to where you started, okay? So let's do left foot forward, right foot back, because most people are right-handed, so they're going to leave that right hand back, and so you're doing a left jab. We'll go ahead and switch in a minute, but let's go ahead and everyone do 10 nice, easy jabs off that front side, okay? Nice and slow. Reach out, come back. All right, let's go ahead and switch. Now your right foot forward, left foot back. I'll go sideways. And same basic idea. Now you've got to think about it again. That right foot, the toes are going to turn towards the inside. The left foot is also going to turn towards the inside as you extend. That left heel coming further off the ground as you need to close that 4 to 6 inches and then come back. So 10 on your own. Good. All right. Let's see if there are questions. Any questions?
The only one I have is mini but anyway, is when you're coming forward with that, when you're launching off the hind leg that way, I'm a little overbalanced. And I know like in a fighting situation, you're probably moving continuously, so that's a little bit more okay. But in the interests of being able to keep one's balance in general, how are you recovering from having kind of launched yourself out there?
Good question. Good question. So As you said, when I am thinking about a sparring situation or a self-defense situation, I don't want to sit here in their perfect striking distance. And so I am oftentimes thinking about how to use this jab to now close and do something else, right? That said, for this drill, right, we've started with a slightly long stance, right? We've got slightly more than shoulder width, and we're starting 50-50. This gives us this base of almost 2 feet wide, or 2 feet of length, gives us, you know, a lot of this room to cover. But as you can see here, like my nose is past my toes and my hips are getting really close to that front spot. So at this point, I'm not overbalanced, but I'm very forward balanced, okay? Now at this point for the next one, I mean, we're not gonna talk about the next one yet. We're gonna keep it on this. That said, yes, every once in a while I'm doing this and I'll go, whoops, a little too far. That's all right. I would rather you overbalance a little bit coming in and closing that distance, given what we assume we're going to do next, which is move in, rather than kind of sit back here and not get those hips and legs into it like we would like to. Okay? Does that answer?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Other questions? All right, let's go ahead and fire off another. Let's go a little faster. Let's go medium now, okay? So we're just going a little bit faster. You've already gotten down some of the basic motion, but let's not go so fast you don't have a chance to go front foot, rear foot, hand, foot, you know, that sort of thing, okay? So 10 punches left, 10 punches right on your own. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and switching sides, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4,
So we're looking a moment ago at your jabs, not those crosses. If you retract that jab in a reasonable amount of time rather than letting it hang out there for your opponent to grab, it's going to be easier to not overbalance. Because it's not out away from your body fully.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and now we're going to go up a little bit faster. Hopefully you're getting the idea of these basic motions. Now what I want you to think about is after you punch, we're thinking about retracting, okay? We're not just punching and kind of coming back to a lazy spot, flat-feeted, dead, right? What we need to do is think about punch, and now we're going to punch and retract and get both of these feet back forward so that maybe I can move with another jab, maybe it's a cross, maybe it's a kick, right? Or coming in for a takedown. So we're going to do 10 each side at what we'll call a normal speed, but I want you to think about this retraction. So you're going to jab and retract and have good balance. Yes, every once in a while we'll over punch a little bit, come a little bit forward off our toes. That's okay. But let's do 10 left, 10 right of a good normal speed, thinking about this retraction, okay? It's going to take bringing this back knee back in. So I drive off and I've got to bring that left hip back, that right knee in, and toes facing mostly forward. Not entirely forward. I still got about 5, maybe sometimes 10 degrees of turn, but it's less than it was here when I did the jab. Okay, let's go ahead. Nice, good. Oh, you know what? We should be wearing our gloves. Are we wearing our gloves? Oh, man. Too busy talking, not enough busy working. All right, so jabs, go. And switch sides. Good. I'm going to switch again. Let's get 5 more each side. Good. All right, questions on this? None. All right, let's go ahead and let's go now to a jab cross, okay? So we've got our jab. We've been thinking about this jab a lot. So now we're gonna, after we do the extension, we were thinking about this retraction, right? Where the knees drop in. So as we begin retracting, these knees are dropping into place so that now I've got that right leg ready to drive again for the cross. Okay, so we jab, we're retracting. As we're retracting, we're beginning to turn into this. Notice this right knee dropping in helps the right shoulder come forward. And now I can drop and extend off that right side for a cross. Questions? All right, so no movement, no steps. We have lots of movement, no steps. Let's do jab cross. Let's try 10 left foot forward and then 10 right foot forward on your own. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Switch. Right foot forward. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right. Left foot forward. Let's do 5 more on the left side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch again. Right foot forward. Jab cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. All right. Questions on that?
The gloves make you feel so powerful.
They kind of give you an immunity.
Hold your hands lower than you're used to. Remember, think about where your hands are on your face, not where the tops of those gloves are.
Which is true. Like I tend, when I'm wearing gloves, those hands come a little bit lower because functionally I want them where I can still kind of see stuff, but it's still protecting. Of course, the tops of my fists are down, so it should be up here. You know, it's one of those things. You're wearing gloves. All right, at least the hands are staying up. And part of why we're wearing gloves is, yeah, you've got that immunity that comes from just thinking about punching something. But also there's that extra weight after a little while that makes us conscious of where these hands are. Because otherwise the hands start to drop. And you're like, oh, all right, I've got to hold those hands up. All right, feel it in the shoulders. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do, let's see, we got a few more minutes left. What I'd like to do is now let's go back to our short steps, okay? So we're gonna just do easy jab crosses like we were in the beginning with a short step, right? Nice short step to the side. I'm moving maybe 6-8 inches. If I'm moving right foot moves first, moving left foot moves first, moving front foot moves first, moving back foot moves first, and try to time in the jabs and crosses, okay? I haven't talked too much about that, but basically as the foot begins moving, the first foot, that's when I throw my jab, and that way the strength can settle in and get set up so I'm ready then for the cross, the power punch, okay? All right, ready, let's go ahead. Nice jab, crosses, left foot forward, right foot back, moving around, go. Shoo, 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 shoo. Shoo, 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 shoo. Good. Let's go ahead and switch. Right foot forward. Jab crosses. Moving around in short steps. Shoo, 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 shoo. Good. All right, let's go ahead and pause. Questions occurring to you about the jabs and crosses? Now that we're moving, it gets a little harder to think about that perfect turn off both feet on the jab and then coming back for the retraction. All right, so as you're doing the jab, I still need this kind of push off the rear leg to push that hip forward. Now as I get ready for the cross, I really have to think about the retraction so that I've got the strength for that power cross. All right? Okay, let's go ahead, do some more shadow boxing if you wish. Let's start adding in kind of uppercuts if you know them, hooks if you know them, maybe even elbows if you know them. All right, so jabs, crosses, maybe hooks, maybe uppercuts, maybe elbows. All right, let's start left foot forward, right foot back. We're gonna do this for about a minute, and then we'll switch sides. And ready, go. Shoot, 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 shoot. And let's go ahead and stop and switch. We were left foot forward, now we are right foot forward. Pretending to be southpaws, or like me, really being a southpaw. All right, jabs, crosses, hooks, uppercuts. Shoot, 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 shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. And let's go ahead and stop. All right, gloves off. Questions on our handwork for today? While you're thinking, remember the basic ideas. We're thinking about this basic stance and jab and how our feet want to turn and drive for these jabs so that we can put some muscle behind it that helps with the speed, right? And it helps us close this distance that we need, that crucial 4 to 6 inches that we try to leave when we're sparring out of someone else's range. Any questions? All right, hopefully at this point, the calves are just tight enough that you were thinking about it. The shoulders are just tight enough that you had to think about where those hands were, and that's how we start getting better. This is kind of our proprioception exercises for boxing, is doing this kind of repetitive motion and allowing kind of the tiredness of the muscles to help tell us what's working in an activity and what is kind of getting lazy in an activity. All right, so got just a few minutes left. Let's go ahead and do our cool down, warm down stretch. I'm standing here about shoulder width apart, and I'm going to come back to the neck. Nice circles. And just the shoulders. Nice big circles coming forward. We did a lot of shoulder stuff as far as strikes go. Switch direction. So we'll try to take a few minutes in here. Good. Easy chain breakers. Good. And catch that right arm, pull it across. And switch, left arm, pull it across. And switch. Right arm is going behind the head. Fingertips are reaching down your back. Palm is on the flat of your back. Palm is flat on your back as best you can. If you want to stick out that right hip and add in a little bit of side stretch, you can do that. Switch arms. Good. All right. Feet about shoulder width apart, hip width apart. Hands reaching up. And we're going to do a forward fold coming down. Relax into the stretch. Let the weight of your upper body hang down. Putting a gentle pull on the hamstrings and hips and lower back. Bend the knees. Ragdoll up. Hands go high. And we're going to do a forward fold again. This time a little bit deeper. Good. From here, depending on where your space is, get yourself into a high plank. I'm walking the hands forward. You could shoot the feet back. That's also fine. I'm going to start in this high plank, low plank, upward dog. Roll the toes under, drop back, downward dog. Using your hands to push your heels backwards towards the mat, keeping the tailbone high. You might not get your heels to the ground, but that's all right. And high plank. Low plank, upward dog. Downward dog. Pedal out the feet a little bit, so I'm taking the weight off my right foot, putting all the weight on the left. That also changes the angle of the stretch, so it's a little bit more that outside edge of the calf and maybe even the IT band and hip. And switch. Good. From here, let's do three-legged dog. Right leg comes up, holding it up high. And now bring it all the way through between your front feet. You'll come up. We're going to do a side kick stretch. So right leg is still bent, left leg is straight, foot turned in, dropping this left hip down towards the mat. I know it doesn't feel like it, but doing a lot of this, the punch work involves a lot of back work and a lot of glutes and calves and quads, and so we have to make sure we stretch that out even though it doesn't feel like we used it a lot. Turn up to a crescent lunge. And drop that knee slowly to the ground. Chest comes down to the ground. Right hand goes around and under and around the right foot, dropping the chest down to the ground. Feeling the stretch in the right hamstring. Good. From here, sit back on the left foot, a long stretching out the right leg, and then reaching your chest back down to that now straightened out right leg. And walk the hips forward, get the hands back underneath you, bring that foot back, high plank, low plank, upward dog, downward dog. Left foot now comes high to three-legged dog. Bring that left foot forward up between your two hands. Turn that back foot. We're going to come up into a side kick stretch. Right leg is straight, left leg is bent. Trying to drop that right hip towards the left foot. leaning back, and then make both legs active. Actually push off the quad on that left foot. Good, turn to your left, crescent lunge, ball of the right foot, hips facing forward. Hands are up, and this helps open up the abdominal cavity, helping the stretch on that right hip. Drop that right knee down gently. And chest down to the ground. Left arm goes underneath and around the left foot. Rock back, straighten out the left leg, stretch that left leg again. Chest drops down to the left knee. Good. Rock forward again, get the hands underneath your chest. Bring that left foot back. And look, you're in high plank now. Let's go to low plank. Upward dog. Downward dog. Right foot up, three-legged dog again. This time you're going to bring this right leg forward, up between, almost to your hands, but we're going to go into a pigeon. So I'm going to fold that right leg. Try to get my shin as in line with my chest as I can, using my hands to keep my right hip back. The tendency is you're going to drop the right hip down and the left hip goes back. You want to keep that left hip pushed forward, and that's going to take a lot on the right hand to help with. Dropping your chest down towards that shin, feeling the stretch in the right hip, right glutes, that corner of your pelvis. Good. Now let yourself sit down, reach back. Let's grab that left foot and stretch out the quadriceps on the left side. And sit up. Let's take that left foot, sweep it all the way across and over the right knee. Hug that knee into your chest. And left hand goes behind you, right elbow goes over your left knee. Gentle back twist. Back is elongated, top of your head reaching towards the sky with a twist. Good. Take that left foot, swing it back, hands come forward, bring that right leg back, drop to downward dog. Left leg comes up high, three-legged dog. Bring that left leg forward into the pigeon. Taking a lot of weight on the left hand so you can keep that right hip pushed forward. Pull that right hip back, left hip back as you drop your chest towards the shin. So your chest is coming forward. Your right hip needs to stay forward. Your left hip, you're pushing it back with that left hand. Feeling the stretch in that left hip, left glutes area. Good. Go ahead, sit on that left hip, grab that right foot, tuck it back. Let's get the stretch on the right quadriceps. Good. Sit up, take that right leg, swing it across and over that left knee. Hug the knee into your chest. And right hand goes behind you, left elbow goes outside your right knee. Gentle back twist. Elongate the back. Push with the hands and elbow into a twist. Good. All right. We're about out of time for today, so I want to thank everyone for joining us. We are going to continue doing these stay-at-home videos as long as we need to. Hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully you'll take this good workout feeling into the rest of your day. And don't forget, see if you can get some mats, even puzzle mats, maybe get a dummy, maybe get resistance bands. If you can't afford that stuff, then, you know, just make do with what you can. It's not a big deal. You know, we're in here just to kind of have fun and keep our skills fresh. So in the meantime, stay happy, stay healthy. We'll all get through this together, and we'll see you next time. So thank you very much.